Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. If it's your first time, this is Modern Life Insurance Hacks, or otherwise, as we just remarket it, rebrand it as Modern Financial Industries Hacks. So, because we are not just speaking to life insurance or financial advisors or financial planners, we are speaking to everybody that happen to be active inside this industry. And that's why we decided to rebrand this from financial modern life insurance hacks into modern financial industry hacks. So, with that being said, we have something to talk about. I promise you this is going to be no more than 10-15 minutes max. So the idea what we're trying to speak about today is to tackle something that's very important, which is most AI hacks out there. When you ask them to write for you a piece of content, what they do, they write you a piece of content. But do you think they know exactly who they are talking to or what kind of the person you are and what kind of messaging that you are trying to communicate? Do they know the nuances? Do they know all the details that comes with addressing a market? No, obviously no. And we already spoke of the fact that if you want to have a consistent impact to your audience, we need to have an alignment through the three major pillars, which is the right audience, the right message to the right audience, speaking the right pain. Once these three things aligned on a daily basis, and there is no way that there won't be an impact, because it just very narrowed message to the very narrowed audience with the very narrowed pain, then automatically this makes sense. So today I want to highlight few things that you may find inside AgentIgnite, since the topic is always and will be AgentIgnite. And today, the idea is to understand exactly what is the voice that AgentIgnite use in order to calibrate your identity, your way of speaking, your internal thinking into an actual words. What is it that specific things that makes it so special, so that AgentIgnite is able to deliver the right messaging and to give you the advantage, the competitive advantage. So I want to first give you a quick example that demonstrate the points. Then we can move on to listing the different elements of the voice guide. That's what I call. So the first thing is that imagine for a second is Marcus is a person inside your audience, and he sees the first day or the first couple of weeks, he sees Marcus sees something that doesn't really resonate with him. He reads the text, a piece of content, and he feels that this is not entirely who you may be. Let me turn this off. And he feels this is not entirely written for him, or at least is not written by a real person. Then on week two or day two, he something slightly feels off. The conversation continues to happen, and then on day three he stops reading fully. On day four he unfollows or ignores, and then by the end of the week or 2 weeks, Marcus now sees your content is completely irrelevant and he won't even touch it. So what we are losing here, what we are experiencing the power of, even if we chose Marcus as our ideal customer, and he knows and we know that we are good fit for each other, there is a messaging is a gap. The messaging is not resonating, or even if it's resonating, he knows that it's produced by AI, and there is too much to read and it's just not worth it. So the idea is what we want to do. Somebody's calling me and I don't want to answer. So the idea is what we want to do. We want to make sure that we are actually delivering a content that builds momentum and that gives us authority and credibility. And that's the major point that we are after. So this is what AgentIgnite is capable of doing, and this is why it's worth your time. The first thing that we want to make sure that we understand is that AgentIgnite has a feature called voice guide capture. And this voice guide captures what it does. It's able to captures the sentences and the length and the rhythm of your written words. It has a signature phrases. It captures your signature phrases and transitions that you use inside your copy. It has a tone calibration. So with time, it after seeing few examples of your written words, then it has a tone that can calibrate all the writing, the future writing into that specific tone. How direct versus warm, for example, it captures the wording. So you see, you use words you never use, so it never use words that you never use. How you open a post versus how you close it. All these elements that are not seen for the naked eye. You're not going to be sitting there and say, okay, well, I just wrote a piece of content. I asked Grok to write me a piece of content, or Claude, but I don't know if it made sure that it respected actually the tone, the sentences, the calibration, and all these elements. I don't think so. So what is it that AgentIgnite is capable of doing all this? Because it was fed and it was built with structure in mind to look for these elements, these patterns, to capture them, then it compartmentalize them, and then use them every time it needs to deliver your content. So it knows your rhythm, it knows your tone, it knows the way you open a thought, the phrases you use, the words you never use, the way you challenge without being aggressive, the way you emphasize before you educate. All these elements are part of how AgentIgnite is able to make itself completely you. In other words, you won't have to teach AgentIgnite every time, every day you show up and you tell it, okay, write me a post regarding X. You don't need to go and tell what, by the way, make sure that you open using this sentence, and make sure that you open and close in using this sentence, and make sure that you are using these words as a link. All that elements, all that information is already taken care of. Okay? So what is the idea about everything that we just mentioned? AgentIgnite, make sure your voice show up every single day, even when you don't have the time to write. So it writes for you, it writes with your voice, and it respects the way you approach people and the way you approach your writing. That's the difference between a tool and a system. And by the way, this is not even a system, this is an operating marketing system, because it helps you develop not just one aspect of your business, of your marketing. It helps you identify and enhance all aspects of your marketing and make it forefront and give you the best out there. So let me, if you guys have any questions, it's 8 minutes. I promise you it's going to be 10 minutes. So this is a short live that helps, give you, enlighten you, and give you enough information about how AgentIgnite actually works. If you haven't joined us, please do so. It's still in the launch phase. It's only $100 if you're wondering how much it costs, and it's a one-time payment. It's not like you have to pay every month a recurring monthly expense. No, this is a one-time payment and you are done. So let's do it. I will add the link for the in the comments for the AgentIgnite if you want to join us. And with that being said, leave your comment. I'll be more than happy to respond to them, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day.